Hi there, I'm Budda and you're watching Dr. Guitar, a show for all you guitarists out there. In today's episode, I'm going to test if a mic pre makes any difference while recording and capturing guitar. But first of all, let me thank my dear patrons for supporting the show, and if you want to become a patron, you just go to the link. It's super simple. You'll be getting early access to episodes, free backing track every month, and a free video lesson every week. And of course, my huge thank you. I'm also putting some extra content on Patreon occasionally, so if you're a patron, you will be getting it. Also, if you're interested in guitar lessons or vocal lessons with me, just send me an email or a direct message via Instagram or Facebook, and we'll deal with it from there. Let's go! What is a mic pre? Well, basically a mic pre, it's a mic preamp, so it's something that grabs the tiny signal of a microphone and preamplifies it, so makes it a little bigger so you can actually record it or send it to a power amp. In a guitar amp, we have the preamp section and the power amp section. The preamp is what augments the guitar level, which is a very tiny very quiet sound, and then it augments it in a way that the power amp can make it louder. Then the power amp is what we usually see categorized by wattage. So a 30 watt amp or a 50 watt amp is referring to the power amp. In the microphone thing, the preamp is basically all we need to record a microphone into a DAW or into any recorder. So anything you put a mic into will be a preamp. Even on the iPhone, for example, the iPhone has a built-in preamp, which preamplifies the signal captured by the mic. I happen to have a few mic preamps, and very different. I have API, Neve, Rupert Neve. I mean, when I say Neve, I have Avedis emulating API and Neve 1073 preamp. I have Helios, which I always use to capture the Lone Star. It's my favorite preamp. I have the Universal Audio Twin and also the Apollo mic pre's. I also have an Universal Audio 6176, which is a 6110 2 preamp going into the 176 compressor. So I'll be using the Ditto looper to record a loop of a guitar. I'll be using the Telecaster. I'll be using the drive channel of the Lone Star, because I think when you record a guitar with distortion, we have more overtones, so it's clearer the difference of mic pre's and of mics, of everything, of cables, etc. So I'm recording a riff with open chords, probably G and D and C, because they are very ringy, very complex chords, and they will make a huge sound for us to compare. I'll be recording with the Biodynamic M160 as usual. Same place, I'll only change the mic pre and try to make it the same amount of gain on every mic pre. Then we will compare it by the magic of post-production. I will set it one after the other, and you'll listen, we'll compare it, and I'll tell you what I think. Let's record the guitar riff. Okay, so after listening carefully, there's definitely a difference, at least to my ears. It's really obvious between the Helios and all the other, but the 511, so the 511 by Rupert Neve, and the MA5 by Avedis, they sound kind of close, a lot more bottom end than the Helios. The Helios is way mid-rangey nasally. Then I was very surprised with the quality of the mic pre in the Twin, in Apollo Twin. So the Universal Audio mic pre, really good. I didn't really notice a huge difference between the Helios plugin and the 1073 plugin versus the normal Apollo Twin mic pre. The 6176 has character mid-range is pushed forward, and then not strange at all, the API 512 or the Avedis Audio MD7, they are really close to each other, so they sound great, punchy. But actually, my preferred mic pre for recording situations is the Helios with the M160. I know it sounds way less bassy, but it sounds up front. It sounds what I wanted in the mix. Not too woofy and too big, because then there will be no space for the bass. But now I know my Helios mic pre is very soft on the low end, so it doesn't have quite enough low end. So now I know it's not a great mic pre to record low end sources like bass and bass drum, for example, but it's great if you want the clacky bass with not enough low end. But that's another question. Let me know in the comments what you think about the comparison, the mic pre's. Have you figured out the difference between them? I've been having this question for a long time, and the difference on mic pre's will vary a lot depending on the source, of course. So if you're doing a vocal, it might be different because you won't have as much information in the low end. But in the guitar, I haven't ever tested the mic pre's situation. And I was very pleased to figure out that the Universal Audio Apollo mic pre's are really great sounding, even with no plugins on them. Thanks a lot, and if you want to support the show, you can become a patron or contribute to the tip jar on PayPal. And if you're interested in guitar lessons with me, just send me an email or a direct message via Instagram or Facebook, and we'll deal with it from there. See you next week. Bye-bye.